All right, so now that you understand layers, we get to jump into the exciting world of selections and masks. This tutorial is showing sort of the end result and why you would want to learn about masks, but let's actually get rid of the stuff we don't want. Now we could hide all of it, that's fine, just to get to that one photo. Or in this case, since we're gonna just recreate this content, we can delete it. So I'm gonna select the top layer and then shift select the bottom layer and hit delete. Okay, masks. First thing you should know about masks is that they start with selections, and there's kind of a difference that's really important to understand between selections and masks. Okay, so these tools here are all selection tools. So if I were to draw, let's say, an ellipse, you can see this is a selection. It's a dancing dotted line, and the idea is that anything inside there can be affected and anything outside is protected. And these can be any shape you want. So I can actually go to, let's say, the lasso here, and you can see I can add or subtract to selections. So I could add a little squiggle here, or I could go to another selection like, let's say, the rectangle, and we could say subtract. And you can see that we could freehand any kind of shape that you can imagine. Now, there are other ways to make selections based off of a photo's content, which we're going to get to. But for now, we just want to see what a selection might look like and see that we can add or subtract to any selection with any other selection tool. Okay, so here is the thing. Once you have a selection, if you were to hit delete at any point, let's say to cut out those pixels, if I were to save this document, are gone forever. So that is a destructive workflow, and we really want to avoid that so we don't lose photos or lose the ability to adjust our project afterward. So how do we do that? To the rescue comes a mask. Okay, so let's go ahead and right-click here. If I've got any of my selection tools, I can right-click and deselect. And you can see that if I were to take a selection and cruise over to the layers panel, there is a sort of flag of Japan looking button. It's right next to the effects button here. But this guy, this will actually turn my selection into a mask, and that is a different animal. So it might look like we've deleted the pixels outside this circle, but in fact, they are just hiding. Okay, so in mask speak, anything that's white is visible. Anything that's black has just been made transparent. It is not deleted. And I could, at any point, add or subtract to this area. So I can make more pixels visible. I can still hide things. Or I can actually delete the entire layer mask and start over. At no point has any pixel been harmed. Okay, so nothing's lost. It's way more flexible and non-destructive. Okay. But if we're going to actually cut this guy out and who knows, stick him in another document, or we want to layer him and have effects in between, we could try to freehand it, but that'd be pretty tough. He's a really organic shape. So thankfully, there are other selection tools. There are ways that we could select things that have the same color, things that have sort of edges of contrast that we can grab onto, and it can even guess about objects. Okay? I would say of all of these, the quick selection tool is the one you're going to see used most often. And you can see that as I drag over things, let's switch to normal mode here. It's going to look for those edges and it's going to do a pretty good job. Okay, but there's an even better way now to make selections of subjects, and it's called select subject. So I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. So if I wanted to select all of them with one click, I could go to select and I could go to select subject and check it out. It's done a really good job of sort of the heavy lifting for cutting him out. Now there are some places we need to fix. So we want to go in there, let's say here, and you can see like it's missing the white part of his glove. It thinks it's part of the sky. So if I were to go to that quick selection tool and go to the add option, you could see that we could add that in. And that's great, right? We can add or subtract things, like there may be some areas that we need to, go in there and actually cut into the selection. So we don't want the blue of the sky here, right? So we could go with a really tiny little brush. Yeah. And we could go ahead and say, hey, I want to subtract those pixels. Okay. Now that's great, and we could certainly do a good job this way. But if you want to get extra refined, there is a way to make these selections even closer to the actual edges, and it's called Refine Edge. Okay? If I go to Select, I can go down to where it says Select and Mask, and this is really our Refine Edge options. Okay, so Select and Mask is going to stick us into this fun mode here, where we could actually preview what it's going to look like if we were to mask this out. Okay? And there are some nice options in here. So if you wanted to, you could zoom in and you could see like, maybe there's some areas that I would want to, clean up a little bit. And I've got a whole range of tools for doing exactly that. So if I notice when I turn the transparency up and down that, let's say, the boot gets kind of lost, I've got all these tools like the quick selection tool that I could use to add that back, right? And I can even hand draw some selections. So if there's some stuff that you're like, when I slide this back and forth, feel like there's just a few little pixels I want to add in, you can actually do that with this brush tool. So we could go in there, we could choose a brush, right? We could make it a very hard brush or maybe a little soft edge. And we could go in there, and if we find any pixels that need to be added or subtracted, right? Let's see what we can find up here. We can add or subtract those in. So like you could see like this little part of the glove, right? If I turn that up, it's actually lost some of those pixels. So I could go in there and really dial this thing in. Okay. Now, lots of little subtleties that we could add or subtract working with these tools. But what if I wanted to refine like the actual edge here? Well, you've got tools for that too. So I'm going to turn the transparency all the way up. And you can see that I have the ability to smooth out basically the edge there. I can actually feather the edge if I wanted to. I can have a little more contrast. You want to be careful with that so you don't lose the sort of anti-aliasing, sort of blending pixels in between, right? But maybe you want a little bit more edge contrast. And if you do have some spill, that like the sky has some spill here, you'd probably want to turn this down a little bit, and we could get this super dialed in. Okay, so he's nicely cut out. To get this out of mask mode, right? And again, you don't have to use mask mode. It just allows you to clean things up a little bit better. You're going to go down to the bottom where it says output, and we don't output a selection. Probably the easiest thing to do is go to new layer with layer mask. It's going to make a copy of this, right? And it's going to have the copied version is going to look like this. So I'm going to go to new layer with layer mask, hit OK. And we're back in regular Photoshop mode. You can see from the tools panel here. And there's my background, right? It's the original. And here is our snowboarder all by himself. Giddy up. Okay. Now that's awesome. And let's do some cool stuff with that. If I were to select the background, I can go to adjustments, black and white. And you can see that the background is now black and white because it's affecting the layer underneath him, right? But he, on the top here, is unaffected by that, right? So we can do lots of neat stuff with that. And who knows, maybe you want to get in there and change some of the sky, right? But it's like kind of a classic thing to do in Photoshop. All right, now that's cool, but what if I wanted only black and white in some area here? Okay, let's do that. It's good to know that with these adjustment layers, you can actually mask the effect. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say I would take some rectangles. All right, so if I draw some rectangles, and I'll say I want to make a bunch of them. So I'm going to go to add here. So if I draw a series of rectangles like so, and let's say I only want those areas to have my effect. Okay, so again, seems like I'm down here and going to change this layer, but if I were to go to an adjustment layer and add it in, let's say we do black and white again, you can see that the mask is basically saying only this area where the rectangles were drawn do I want this effect, right? And you can see like we could do some pretty cool stuff with that, right? So masks allow us to basically decide where we want an effect, decide what we want cut out, right? It allows us to, move things separate from, let's say, the background. Like if I wanted to move this guy to a new document, I could drag him up there. So it's really important to understand masks. It opens up a whole new world of, compositing different photos together and a whole new world of special effects. Okay.